Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode on GTA 5 with, well, some people messing around in multiplayer. You know, the usual amount of chaos, some AIs get freaked out by the railgun, run a person over, as you do. The thing is, we have one of the tiny helicopters go to fire it up and take off when a very, very unusual thing does occur. Now, we have seen car flags before, but I have never seen a helicopter flag. Yep, that has managed to wedge the skids kind of under a bit of the traffic light, and I guess the main weight of the helicopter is resting on the kind of horizontal pole. Somehow it is balanced, and honestly I'm really not sure. I didn't even think GTA physics would ever allow that one to happen, but there we go. We have Professor Biddle up next on Horizon 5. Now, they are racing on one of the cross-country circuits, and this is a notoriously dangerous jump, but it is the AI that first slow them down, and then, for good measure, have a second one land on the roof. Although, the BMW not quite as bad for the old slowing down, although they nearly managed to miss a checkpoint through all of that. We stick with Horizon 5, some high-speed antics on the Hot Wheels expansion. Who high speed for this Corvette that gets it wrong, does a backflip, before crashing into the wall, being pushed along a bit by a Maserati, and then a McLaren, and then comes to a rest, stuck against the invisible wall, with some very low-speed cartwheels, and then it is a very well-balanced Corvette. Not ideal. No, not really. I was amazed the game didn't want to reset that and that it would kind of just about balance somehow. We are on to the Art of Rally next with an incredibly lucky save. I mean, we've seen lots of rolls and carry on in rally games, but this one is bouncing off the bridge and somehow doesn't end up in the drink. Very lucky indeed. Steel Guns is up next on Need for Speed Unbound. And for once, it's not the police that are causing shenanigans. I know, that is quite rare, but no, the player gets things wrong, bounces off a bridge. Well, that bit there's fair enough. Then, for some reason, nope, the game's not satisfied. It wasn't a big enough crash, so just pinged it to space. A shame Need for Speed does tend to reset the cars very quickly, but yeah, that's quite a dangerous bit. Hey, I'm online. Who is up next? Also on Need for Speed Unbound, and this time it is the police causing mayhem, but not in the way you would normally expect. No, they're in a pursuit, they're trying to get away, running at really high speed in their MX-5, and everything seems fairly normal when, as they leave a tunnel, police car sort of charges across the motorway, pushing the MX-5 onto a ramp, and that is a tremendous amount of airtime. In fact, it's 6.5 seconds that car spent in the air. Could have taken out a helicopter, to be honest. Railman is up next on BeamNG Drive with, well, yep, the police are being effective again. This time, it is into the underside of the D-Series. Now, you would expect, perhaps, for that to have killed FailRace Police Department, but nope. No, I mean, the Grand Marshal is battered and is not in the right shape. However, took that hit like a champ. We're on to SnowRunner next. Now, we've seen many a weird silliness from SnowRunner, but this is not the cars pinging around. No, instead they go to likely bump their friend's vehicle that, well, that was a little bit more than a bump. I'm not quite sure how the physics of that one worked, but it certainly flung the pickup truck into the tree line and, well, it's fallen over. Not the worst ever. We're on to Assetto Corsa next, learning why don't let go of the steering wheel when you've crossed the finish line to complete your hot lap, because your Lister store might get launched, I think, about 1,300 miles an hour upwards. Yeah, not great. It's not a record in terms of speed, but it is a lot of speed. It's a, yeah, no, you would not want to be in that car. That's never good. Nope. Much puke would be coming out. I mean, the G-forces would have also killed you, because 0 to 1,300 miles an hour in a split second is probably bad. On to rFactor 2 with some open wheel cars, finding that curbs are dangerous. This time causing a wheelie and then dig into the gravel, and over we go. Yeah, that's an unusual place for such chaos, but yeah, the curb was just enough to launch the car up into the air. And it turns out, sticking with the rFactor 2, if you have a little remote control car racing mod, which is really cool, if they run a little wide and hit the curb, they might have a bad time. I think there's an AI car. So they tell, I don't know, I guess this is a go-kart track they're racing around, and the curbs are, well, much bigger than the cars. So when you turn into the corner and hit that inside curb, it launches a long way, but it's the outside curb, it just sort of digs in and spins around violently. I mean, having race remote control cars, when they flip, they do tend to flip quite violently. Not quite normally like that, but yeah, there's a hell of a number of rolls right there. And finally, we have RcCookie on Teardown. Now, they're trying to complete a mission, I guess, trying to get whatever the hell that barrel is out of the tornado level. So, sensibly connect it to the back of a Jeep and go to tow it to wherever it needs to go. Sensible. Good idea. On the grand scheme of things, sometimes you have to be a little bit patient. You have to wait for the tornadoes to do their thing and just bide your time. And this tornado gets close and then peters out. So far, everything's so good. Bit of debris gets stuck onto the Jeep is a problem, so they have to slow down. Then we get spun around by the tornado. Amazingly, the barrel is still attached to the Jeep. It lands on its wheels, perfect. Goes to go through the fence, doesn't quite clear it. Backs up to have another go, and that is when it's all gone wrong. All that effort, all that careful planning, and now the Jeep is wedged on the thing it's trying to tow. Well, Land Rover is trying to tow, and yeah. Oh, a level where there are tornadoes, and it turns out running over the thing you're trying to tow is the bit that gets you in trouble. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.